Hey there, Amplifiers. Manny Torres here, and I'm excited to have another guest with us this week. Today, I've got Rocky Lalvani, the owner of Profit Comes First and the host of Profit Answer Men Show. I actually connected with Rocky at PodFest a few weeks back in Orlando. It was great to see him on stage with a panel, and I'm excited to have Rocky join us here today. How are you doing today, Rocky?
I'm doing amazing. Thank you so much for having me, Manny. Excited to be with you.
Well, I'm excited to have you here too. I heard great things about you from other people at PodFest, and then I got to see you on stage and heard some of the great things that you were sharing with the audience there. So I thought it'd be great to have you on the show here today. So Rocky, why don't you take a moment and tell our listeners a little bit about you and what you do?
So basically, I work with small business owners and I help them implement Profit First. And then beyond that, we just basically help them to have a growing and more profitable business. Too often, business owners do what they love and they ignore the financial parts of the business. And the reality is, if you ignore the financial parts of your business, you're going to struggle one day financially. It's just what happens.
That's so true. And we work with a lot of business owners, and that's one of the reasons that we connect with professionals like yourself, because we see so many business owners that have that need where they need to understand those numbers in their business so that they can not waste all that hard work that they're putting into that business and build a lifestyle that they can truly enjoy. Rocky, who is it specifically that you enjoy working with or that works best with you and your business?
So generally, I tend to work with seven-figure business owners, although we're coming up with some new offerings for those who are not that large to be able to kind of do it themselves. And it's more of a psychographic instead of a particular niche market. I like to work with people who are willing to collaborate, people who show up when they're supposed to show up, and people who do what they say they're going to do. If you're one of those entrepreneurs who can't settle down and can't focus on what you need to do, then the reality is I'm not going to be able to help you. So neither of us should waste our time with that. But for those people who are looking to grow their business, who are willing to, I mean, it's hard work. Let's face it. It's if it was easy, everyone would do it. You know, running a business is difficult. But if you're willing to work on your business instead of just in your business, then it's probably a good fit. And and I do have the podcast, so you can always just learn by listening. We teach everything that we do for our clients.
That's excellent. We're very similar in that we have those psychographics as well. We look for people with attitude, expertise, and drive because you have to have that attitude that you want to grow. You have to have the expertise where you're always learning, looking for new ways to do things. And then you have to have the drive, as you mentioned. You've got to be able to do that work. So it's great hearing that you have very similar psychographics that you look for in your clients. So when those clients or those businesses that are seven figures and up come to you, what are the main challenges that they're experiencing that they're looking for help with?
Everyone thinks, oh, I've got seven figures of revenue. Everything's wonderful. The reality is for most businesses, even if you've got that kind of top line revenue, you still struggle at the end of the day with how much you keep. They might be having a good life, but there's always cash flow problems. There's always issues. They're trying to grow. And the biggest constraint for most of these people is the dollars. It's not unusual to see seven-figure businesses and even smaller ones where the business owner is like, I did all this work. I did all these sales. Where's my piece of the pie? Like, there's nothing left, unfortunately. And that's really the biggest struggle is they work hard, they do the things, but they don't see the rewards for the effort they put in.
Yeah, that is definitely something that we've seen. We've, in our experience, working with businesses, helping them grow through marketing. Sometimes they've asked us to drive leads. And then when we scratch the surface on their numbers, we see that they're not profitable and that they don't understand those numbers. And, driving more business could actually take them out of business rather than helping them. So it's really important that business owners connect with someone like you so that they can have that understanding. Rocky, what are some of the things that you do to solve that problem for those business owners who feel like they're not having that money to take home and really enjoy all that hard work and equity that they put into their business?
So basically, it's a mindset shift. Most people are told it's sales minus expenses equals profit, which means profit's a leftover. It's an afterthought. And if you've ever read the book Profit First from Mike Michalowicz, and I'm one of his certified people, basically what we do is we say sales minus profit equals expenses. So we take our profits up front and we ensure that the business is profitable. And then we constrain the business and say, you have to run this business on X dollars because that's what you have available to you. And it basically comes down to Parkinson's law. So Parkinson's law says a business will use up all of the time and resources allocated. So if somebody comes to you and says, hey, I want you to do a marketing plan for me, I bet you go, well, what's your budget and how quickly do you want it done? And those are the two big questions. So whatever the answer is, that's what you're going to get. So if you can constrain that answer, then you'll be able to do it for less. So if someone says, hey, I've got a $100,000 budget in 6 months, it'll be $100,000 in 6 months. But if they say, hey, I've got a $20,000 budget and I've got a month, we'll figure out a way to do it on a $20,000 budget in a month. And that comes back to the 80-20 rule. Too often we're wasting 80% of our time on 20% of the results. And so it's helping to figure out, hey, what is the 20% that's going to give me 80%? And then what's the 40% that's going to give me 96% of my results? And so then we eliminate all the waste. And then that's how you basically do it. So it's taking the time to think through your business and work on your business instead of just going by your gut. More often than not, when you go by your gut and then we look at the reality, they don't always match up. And that's, I think, where the struggle comes in. Nobody sets targets. Nobody measures against targets. I mean, imagine going to a football game and there's no scoreboard. There's no time clock. I mean, it's not going to be fun. Nobody's going to watch that. Nobody's going to really want to be involved. You and your business, you need a time clock. You need a scoreboard. You need to perform against those metrics.
Hey there, this is Kenny from Growth Amplifiers, here to ensure you get your awesome ideas into action to grow and improve your business and achieve your full potential. Take the first step by visiting growthamplifiers.com and clicking the Start Here button. Take the assessment to get your personalized score. Then select from free resources to learn how to improve your score. Don't wait. Be proactive and take action now by visiting growthamplifiers.com and clicking the Start Here button. And always keep on amplifying. Now, let's get back to the show.
I love that. And I love that 80-20. That's something that we speak about a lot, working smarter, not harder, finding ways to build leverage in your business. Rocky, those are some great principles and strategies. Can you give us a real life example of someone that you've worked with and how this has impacted them and what that looks like?
Sure. So there's two things that usually come up. The first, and this is going to sound weird to business owners, right? The first thing they say is, we're prepared for tax time. I'm no longer afraid of my accountant. So what that means is usually a tax time is when you find out how profitable you were. And then they tell you what your tax bill is, right? And then most business owners freak out, like, where am I supposed to get that money? And where is that money? And so one of the things we do is we show them and we put the money aside. And then when tax time comes, they have the money available to pay taxes. The second big thing that I hear from my business owners, and it generally takes at least a year, they're like, we've never had so much cash. We don't know what to do. And we're like, we'll show you what to do. We'll help you out and we'll help you remove that cash from your business so that you can build other streams of income. So some do real estate, some might invest in stocks and bonds, some might buy another business, but let's remove money from this business and let's use it to build more revenue streams somewhere else. So those are the two biggest outcomes, I would say. Tax time's no longer frightening. They can stroke a check. Even if it's a $100,000 check to the IRS, they're ready for it. And then they've got cash like they've never seen before.
That's wonderful. That sounds like a great place to be, and being able to, explore some of the other investment options that you can do, which is one of the reasons why people get into business in the first place, is to build some of those assets and build that freedom and flexibility that they'd love in their life. So it's great that you're there to help them build that.
It is. It's a lot of fun too. When your business is successful, you're happy, your family's thriving, life is good.
That is very true. Rocky, obviously people can listen to your Profit Answer podcast. So listeners, make sure that you find that so you can start to listen in and hear some of these great insights that Rocky has. But if someone out there is listening and they have that 7-figure business and they're looking for some support, what's the best way that they can connect with you, Rocky?
The website has all the information. It's profitcomesfirst.com. And on there's email, contact form, phone number, everything else that you need. And you can even schedule an appointment right with me directly on the website. So all of those contacts are right there at profitcomesfirst.com.
Excellent. And to finish this off, Rocky, one of the things that is tradition on our show is for you to share something that you've learned along your journey, whether it's business or personal, something that you feel can help others as they're, making their process through their journey in their life.
So there's a book I love. It's called The Road Less Stupid. And it's basically about how do you think and work on your business instead of kind of being on that hamster wheel all the time. It's what we talk about. And the biggest thing that he starts this book off with is imagine if you could unravel 3 mistakes you made in your business. How much more money would you have if you could go back and just redo 3 decisions? And the point here is don't do the stupid that others do. Take the time and think through your business and make the right choices. I think that's the biggest thing is just reverse engineer your business to create the life you want.
I love that. So check out that book, The Road Less Stupid, and check out Rocky, connect with him on LinkedIn, on his website. Make sure you reach out to him and check out his podcast. Rocky, thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate you having the time to spend with us here on Growth Amplifiers. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
To show your support, take a moment to amplify this message by sharing it online. To connect with me or gain more business growth insights, visit www.growthamplifiers.com. Thank you for your support.